Hi, my name is Tommy Kelly. Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. Today what I want to focus on is worry about weight gain and eating disorder recovery. This is something that has been a really prevalent thing on my YouTube. People have been asking me about this. So one of my subscribers asked me to make a video on this. So I've written all these things down, so bear with me if you see me looking down. I'm not being ignorant, I'm just trying to, I scripted it all out so I don't miss anything. Right, I say, it's really weight gain and organ insulation. Recovery, you have to obviously gain weight, as you can't just mentally recover. A lot of people will make excuses and recover without the weight gain. It is not possible for me to do this. I mean, it really isn't possible. Not because you lost it due to ED. So to reverse it and the illness and mentally, you have to obviously gain weight. At first it goes to your midsection. And can obviously, with a lot of people, that does trigger a relapse, unfortunately, because a lot of people think their stomach is getting fat and the rest of the body isn't. But this is ED talking, as it's your system trying to obviously protect your vital organs in case of starvation. And once it trusts you obviously give it the adequate nutrition. It will then redistribute and form out, so you don't need to worry, as it won't just be around your midsection, your stomach, so don't worry about that. That's organ insulation, that is what it's there to do. Weight gain is obviously necessary, especially if you're underweight or you've lost weight due to an eating disorder. That needs to happen, as your cognitive ability is obviously impaired due to your thinking and decisions for yourself is totally off the chart, and your ED thought patterns are obviously running wild. But as you gain weight, that will obviously improve in your perception and your realistic view of yourself and of your future and where you want to be. That all comes together. You start to feel better. You start to be able to focus on things. Your mood's much better. You're not wanting to isolate yourself. Obviously your relationship with your food starts to become better as well. You start to be able to add in more and more and more. Weight gain can obviously be gradual and it can be quick as well, but if you continue with recovery, your mind will obviously catch up with that weight gain as well. For me, the weight gain has been slow due to hypermetabolism and things, but recently it's beginning to get a lot better as my metabolism started to kick back in and I'm starting to get used to the calories that I need, and I've obviously had to increase it now. So that's one thing you really need to watch, because a lot of people can start having the hypermetabolism in recovery. The first sign of that usually is night sweats and things. And obviously you start to hate the weight gain, and as you stay the same, you gradually get used to it and it gradually improves. If you provide adequate intake for your restrictive breakdown, then some obviously will gain quickly, and others can even overshoot, which is when your weight basically goes above your set point. So this is what a lot of things that people worry about. They worry that they're going to constantly keep gaining and gaining and gaining, but that doesn't happen. Your body's got a set point and it knows what's best for you and where you're in a healthy state, and it'll eventually just peter out from there. As I say, but don't worry, because this settles down once your metabolism and your healing and your vital organs is taken care of. Then your body will obviously trust that you and your weight will set back to the point it's at. And that'll obviously get to like a healthy point that's particularly for your body type. Overshooting is obviously very triggering, as you feel you just will keep gaining and gaining till you're huge, but I promise that doesn't happen. Even me, I was at 12 stone a way back when I first recovered from my eating disorder, way back in about 2004, and that was my right weight, and I stayed at that, for a good few years, till my next obviously relapse, and my wife suffered ovarian cancer. But as I say, it is necessary for some to obviously repair organs and damage done by ED, but not all people will overshoot, as most gain gradually and reach their set point. But don't stress about it, whatever you do, just trust your body as it knows what's best. Just enjoy recovery, as it's like being born again, it really is. And you will be like the life you love and live the life you live. It's everything. Eating disorder takes so much away from you. It takes away your family, your friends, you start to isolate yourself, all the things you love, you don't enjoy them anymore. Look at all the things that you're going to be able to do if you choose to recover. There's so much out there, life's far too short for that. I know it's hard not to put value into that silly little number on the scale, but it means absolutely nothing. You're a beautiful, amazing person and so many people love you, so love yourself. Nobody is going to like you or love you based on your weight, and if they do, well, that's basically their problem, that's their messed up. They're going to decide by your personality and the person that you are. Obviously, another thing that you're going to have to address is obviously issues that's obviously causing your eating disorder, and that's a huge part in the recovery, and that's necessary. You may have to address the issues if your ED started due to body dislike. We're obviously discussing that with your therapist and things, so you can be at peace with your body and recovery process and obviously regaining weight. I hope this has helped, and I want to clarify that a BMI of over 25 can easily be healthy for many, and that most people in recovery will obviously fall between BMI 22 to 30 naturally. As I say, it's the scale tells absolutely nothing about your gravitational pull and changes throughout. It changes constantly throughout the day, even by your sips of liquid that you may have ate, and many physical components as well. It doesn't say the lives you've touched, the people you smile, or the lives that you've saved. There's so much that is more than your number on that scale. At the end of the day, your eating disorder thrives in numbers, as you well know, whether it be calories, numbers in the scales, how many sit-ups you do. It's absolutely crazy. And like I say, guys, don't worry about the weight gain. It is necessary. You can't fully recover unless you gain weight. That is the very, very first thing. Even when you gain weight, you've still got a lot of recovery to do. That isn't you recovered once you gain weight. You've got to gain the weight to get to a healthy place so your cognitive ability is able to deal with issues that's caused your eating disorder, whether that be something traumatic in your past, maybe a family member dying like I have, maybe you've been bullied, anything, something just triggers it. But you've got to get to that healthy BMI to be able to have a physical ability to cognitive and brain function to actually deal with it. Don't ever think that you're recovered just because you've gained weight. That's where a lot of people go wrong out in society. They see somebody that looks as if they're healthy and say, oh, they can't be suffering from an eating disorder. But sometimes the person you think is the very, very healthiest is actually the most illest up in the brain. Eating disorders are not about weight, as you know. It's all about the issue up here that causes you to use food as a coping mechanism. Like I said, don't worry about the weight gain. It does stop, and at the very, very start you may see a big jump, but don't worry about that. What that actually is glycogen depletion. Your body will obviously gain water weight because of all the restriction that you've done in the past, because you've been very dehydrated. So most of that will actually just be water. I remember in the hospital I gained about 4 or 5 kilos in the first week, and it was all just water weight because I'd been very dehydrated. So take that into consideration as well, guys. And like I say, any more that you want me to focus on, I will do it. I'm going to start, this is the first part of a new series that I'm going to be doing. The next one, I'll be focusing on things like calorie counting and other things like that. So any more that you want focused on in specific eating disorder topics, please let me know, because this is going to be a new series. And remember, like guys, binge on life, purge negativity, starve guilty fear. I just wanted to add, guys, like I say, gaining weight is obviously scary because you've spent virtually, you could have done most of your life in the grips of this eating disorder and fighting against this, but it does get easier, I can assure you. And as your mind gets clearer and you fight the ED behaviours and challenge the rules and routines that your ED has set for you, you start to like your body again, more than you did in the grips of your eating disorder. Loving takes time, as you well know, but gradual. As people don't realise, we obviously hate our bodies really, really much, and more as we lose. I mean, that's one thing that a lot of people don't understand. We actually hate ourselves more when we lose weight. People think that we actually love it when we've lost weight, but you love the number. That's eating disorder speaking. But when you look in the mirror, you're disgusted with yourself. As I say, the eating disorder lies to you, saying that when you lose weight is a positive at first, but it's not. Once you get to that magic number that eating disorder tells you, it pushes you further. You're never happy no matter what number you get to, so don't believe that eating disorder voice. You won't see or believe it, but obviously it will improve, and once you start to get on weight, gradually it gets a lot easier and you don't start to hate the recovery process so much. I'm not going to lie to you guys, recovery is the hardest thing you'll ever go through, but it is so worth it. There's a life at the end of the tunnel and you've got to reach out and grab it. We all need to help each other. It's about pro-recovery. There's no use trying to stay in the grips of an eating disorder, because at the end of the day, it's a really, really debilitating thing, and it can actually take your life away, as you well know. I've lost so many people with it, and I don't want any of you guys going down the same road. So remember, weight gain is necessary. At the end of the day, it's your health is your wealth, and that's the true meaning of life. Love yous guys, and speak to yous all soon. And remember guys, binge on life, purge negativity and starve guilty feelings. Speak to yous all soon, and love yous so much.